Our instructions here are just to solve. I know I'm solving for y because it's the only variable I have. I know there's a possibility to solve for y because I have an equation. I have an equal sign here. On this one, it's clearer why I need to find my least common denominator. Because if I were to multiply y squared minus 25 times y minus 4, I'd end up with a trinomial that may be harder to factor. I checked already, this one isn't too bad, but it's so much quicker if I just find my least common denominator first. So that's where I start. I'm going to factor out a y, and here y minus 5 times y plus 5. If these are still really challenging for you to factor, please continue to practice factoring. We will be factoring all of this unit. We will be factoring unit 4. We will be factoring on test 2. We just factored through lots of test 1. There will be lots of factoring on the final exam. So please practice your factoring. All right. Now I can identify my least common denominator. I need y times y minus 5. That covers this denominator here. I have a y minus 5 already. I need a y plus 5 in my least common denominator. So there is my least common denominator. I'm now going to multiply both sides of my equation by my least common denominator. So I multiply this times y minus 5, y plus 5, and this side by y times y minus 5, y plus 5. To help, I make both of these look like fractions. This has been crossed out because my factored denominators are down underneath there. I can now divide out common factors, numerator with denominator. Y will divide out with the y minus 5 will divide out with the y minus 5, and I will have y plus 5 times y minus 4, and that's all that's left of that fraction. Over here, I can divide out y minus 5 with y minus 5, y plus 5 with y plus 5, so I get 2 times y. And there is a much simpler equation to solve. Yes, I still have to distribute and set equal to 0. So I'm just going to solve now. I get y squared plus y minus 20 equals 2y. I set it equal to 0. I get y squared minus y minus 20 equals 0. I factor that. Equals 0. I set each of my factors equal to 0 using the zero factor theorem to solve. This gives me y equals 5 and y equals negative 4. One more thing I have to do. I have to check to make sure both of these answers work in my original equation. So up here, if this y is 5, 5 minus 5 is 0, so 5 does not work. It is extraneous. 4, I put in 4, I'm good there. I'm good all the way with, pardon me, it was a negative 4. I'm still good all the way around with a negative 4. So y equals negative 4.